Hey guys, it's me, I'm back. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Allison Nicely. First, let me say I am not a counselor, I am not a psychiatrist. Everything I'm going to talk about has just been from my experience over the last however many years and months and so forth. I used to do videos all the time. I kind of got away from it. Probably about 6 months ago. Just kind of had a lot going on in my personal life, and I just kind of stopped doing it, and I don't know why. So I decided it's time to start them back up. And one of the things that I loved when I did videos for people, I think the main one that I remember was I talked about parenting. You know, I've got 2 little ones. They're not so little anymore. They're 4 and 5, almost 6. I don't like it. They're growing up too fast. They need to stop growing. Tell them all the time, stop growing. It doesn't work. But no, I did a video about parenting and how everybody's going to have their own opinion about parenting. But it's all about what you feel like is the best, right? So do what you think is best, not what anybody else thinks, because you're their parent, you know them better. And I remember when I published this video, I had so many comments and so many like private messages from people that it really touched me. I even had one person say that it really opened up the line of communication between him and his spouse, and they were actually able to work through some difficult times they were having. So that really meant a lot to me. And you know who you are, so thank you. So I'm kind of hoping that my next kind of series of videos will be just as helpful to someone. And it'll also be helpful for me as well, because I kind of got away from some of the things that I used to talk about. So kind of getting back to who I am, and kind of just getting back to me, right? I mean, because we all kind of have those moments of where we just kind of do our own thing and just kind of, you know what your values are and your boundaries, but for some reason they just kind of go away, or they get blurred. It's time to bring those boundaries back into play for this world. So this video, I'm going to talk about kind of non-negotiables, and I apologize if it's going to be kind of long. I don't mean it to be long, but it probably will be. Okay, so first off, let me say this video is not directed towards one person per se, because I'm sure when this person watches it, they're gonna think I'm talking right to them, and that's not the case. It's just kind of in general, the last things that I've learned about myself, you know, the last few years, and the last couple, you know, relationships I were in and friendships and stuff. So non-negotiables, what are they? Everybody is going to have their own kind of non-negotiables in life. If it's with friendships, relationships, animal raising. Got my dog right here. Can't see him, but his head's on my lap right now. You know, with parents or relatives, you know, we're all going to kind of have our own non-negotiables. So the thing I wanted to talk about was non-negotiables is what's important to you. You know, you can let a lot of things go. My dog's gonna get in the picture in a second. Okay, hi baby. Get down. Get down. Get down, baby. Get down. Sorry, he likes to be in the middle of everything. Yeah, he's cute. So non-negotiables. What are they? You know, for me, it's a lot of different things. But kind of my non-negotiables kind of last with my relationships, my friendships, my relationships with my family members, depending on how close I'm going to let someone in, with my coworkers, you know, colleagues, anybody that you meet out in public, right? Who are you? What is some things that you absolutely will not tolerate? Won't tolerate or won't budge. Now, my non-negotiables are not going to be the same as your non-negotiables, and that's okay. But the important part is knowing what your non-negotiables are and sticking with them and not bending the rules. And your friends and family members and everybody else in your life should know what these non-negotiables are. And my true friends, they know. Like, what I'm getting ready to say, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's Allison, always has been, right? Won't change. And that's okay. So when you're looking for, you know, a significant other in life, it's important to know that they meet your non-negotiables. Now, they don't have to meet 100% of them. I have 5, really. I don't think you should have more than 5. But you want them to meet majority of them, because if not, like, there's a big red X. Nobody likes X's. Everybody likes check marks, right? So let's kind of dig in to my non-negotiables, and we'll talk about it. And I kind of have questions that I ask, or that I'm going to start asking, or like I used to ask, but I kind of got away from it for whatever reason. And I think for me, I kind of got away from it because I thought everybody was the same way as me, right? I thought everyone believed in things I did, and if they didn't, like, why not? Like, I don't understand it. Like, and I kind of forgot that not everybody sees the world the way I do. And the way I see it is not going to be the way you see them, and that's okay. That's all about compromising and understanding each other. So I've got 5 non-negotiables. Okay. A couple of these are going to be kind of a touchy subject, and you're definitely not going to agree with me. In fact, I'm probably going to get some backlash on these, and that's okay. Especially the number 1, my number 1 non-negotiable. And it's okay to disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. And if you don't, by all means, I would love to hear from you. I would love to tell me why you don't like my non-negotiables, why you think I'm wrong, why I shouldn't have these non-negotiables. But at the end of the day, they're my non-negotiables. And just because this is the way I feel doesn't mean that's how everyone's going to feel. Okay? But at the same time, if you want to disagree with me, there is a right way to disagree with somebody and a wrong way to disagree with somebody. So before I kind of get into the non-negotiables, let me get into that too. If you want to disagree with somebody, you know, about their opinion or their beliefs, there's, oh my gosh, do not come across as saying, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that you just did this, or that you believe that, that's so wrong, and blah, 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 and like get really into their face and yelling and screaming and, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That, you're not going to change anybody's mind that way. It's not going to happen. The nice way, or the polite way, or the correct way is, hey, Allison, I understand that that's kind of your beliefs on that. Unfortunately, that's not my beliefs, and this is why, you know, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. But I can understand, or I can not really understand, but that's your beliefs, and I'm not going to change it. But I would like you to try to keep an open mind about why I believe this way. Totally different, right? So if you're coming to me asking me, or wanting to, you know, tell me that my non-negotiables are crazy, make sure you do it the right way. Because if you come across as attacking me, I'm not going to respond, because what's the point of that? There's no point. Okay? Okay, so my non-negotiables. All right. And like I said, I've got some questions that I used to ask, that I'm going to start getting back to. And I'll ask those questions, and I will answer those questions as well. So my number 1 non-negotiable, this is the one I'm sure I'm going to get some backlash on. No drugs. No drugs in my life, including marijuana. Now, I understand that people can say, oh, but it's legal in however many states, and it's for medical purposes, and it helps with my anxiety, and it helps with this, and it helps with that. Fine. You can give me all the articles you want. You can give me anything you want regarding that. I want nothing to do with any type of drugs, including marijuana. That is my personal belief. I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it. Now, do I think it could help somebody with, you know, severe disabilities? Sure. You know, has there been studies for, you know, people with strokes and stutters and everything else? Like, does it help them cancer patients? Yeah, there has been, and it has helped. But on a regular basis, a normal person, and I say normal, right? I mean, what's really normal? But a person that's not deathly ill, there's other ways that you can get the help that you need. If you say it helps with my anxiety, listen, I've never been a big one on anxiety, but lately I have had a lot of anxiety, But I've been able to figure out different ways to cope with my anxiety. Part of it is journaling. You know, why am I feeling this way? And really asking myself, why am I feeling this way? Can I not talk to people? Is it the situation that I'm in? What is it? So there's other ways that you can find relief that you want that's not going to get you stoned out of your mind and see things. I'm sorry. I don't want anything to do with it. My personal opinion. I don't want anything to do with it. Now, I've got some really close friends that, you know, really enjoy it. By all means, but they know how I feel about it. They know that I don't want to be around it. They know I don't want to hear about it. They know that I'm never going to agree with it, so just keep it away from me. And they have. They know that. And when I have new relationships starting, and it's funny too, because if I start dating somebody, usually that question comes up, right? And it's funny because I'll talk to my close friends, and that's the first thing they say is, well, do they smoke pot? And I'm like, well, and they're like, Allison, if they do, like, you're never going to be okay with that. That's always going to be an issue. And I'm like, yeah, I know, you're right. Like, because they know me so well, like, I don't want anything to do with it. I can't judge you if you want to do it, but for me, you're not going to be in a relationship with me or super, super close to me to the extent of, yeah, come over to my house and light a joint. No. You can be my friend. That's fine. I'm going to keep you on a friend status to an extent. I'm also not going to loan money to people that I know that do drugs. If they call me up and say, hey, I need help, you know, I need to borrow $100 or $200. What do you need it for? Where has your money gone? And I've done this before. Oh, I need clothes for my daughter, or I need to pay my cell phone bill. Cool. Give me the information. Where's your cell phone bill from? I'll go pay it. But I'm not going to give you money because I'm not going to support your habit. Just my personal opinion. I'm sorry, but that's just me. Okay, it's not going to change. That is definitely a non-negotiable for me. My second non-negotiable, I have my little list right here. My second non-negotiable that I have is loyalty. Loyalty is a big one to me. I am a very loyal person. People will say, oh, no, you're not. You bounce around. No. Once you get to know the real me and get into my heart, I am a super loyal person. Loyal to a default sometimes. Thank you. Sorry, my dog. So some questions that I used to ask when it comes to loyalty and getting to know somebody is, I think it, without just saying, yeah, I'm a loyal person. Are you loyal? Yeah, I'm loyal. Cool. And moving on. No. I need facts, right? So my number one, or one of my questions I ask for loyalty is, what's your longest friendship? Of the friends that you have, what is your longest friendship? Someone says, oh, well, my longest friendship's probably been 5-6 months. Or I don't really have any close friends. You have any close friends? Why not? Everybody needs close friends. Your longest friendship's only been like 6 months, so what happened to your friends before that? Because, I mean, if they were a true friend, they're going to stick with you no matter what. I told you I'd answer my question. So my oldest friendships, oh my gosh. My oldest, or my longest friendship would probably have to be my friend Ashley. Met her in elementary school. She's like my sister. I don't even call her a friend anymore. She's my sister. And then it's my friend Rachel, who I met in 7th grade. I think 7th grade, like middle school. And then there's Sarah, 7th grade. So, I mean, you're thinking, let's see, I think I met Ashley in the 4th grade. So let's do the math real quick. That's 4, 6, 8. There's 8 years right there in school, and I've been out since 2005. So 14 plus 8, 21 years? 22 years. 22 years. 22 years I've known a girl. And she's like my sister. Like, that's a long time. Have we had our issues? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Have I had my issues with my other friends? Oh, yeah. There's times where we haven't talked for a little while, but we always come back to each other, you know? And then I have another friend who was my old roommate. I've known him for 18 years. You know, like I'm a very loyal person when it comes to that. And I think it shows when you talk about how long have you known somebody and been friends with them. My second question I ask is career-wise. How long have you been at your current job or career? I mean, that's a good question to ask, right? Because if someone says, oh, 2 months, okay. All right, so did you just start this? I mean, obviously you just started this job. The job before that, or a career you had, how long were you there? 4 months. Okay. About the one before that. If they keep giving you months or like a year, okay. What's been the longest time you've been at one job? I mean, that's a good question, right? And you can really get to know somebody by that. If they say, oh, maybe a year, maybe. Okay. So for me, that tells me that you're not a loyal person and that you're jumping around from place to place to place. How do I know that you're not just going to jump around from place to place, or relationship, or being a friend one time and a friend the next? Not like, all those questions kind of lead in together, right? Like, for me, what's the longest I've ever been at a job? 9 years. Yep. I was at my last job before the one I have now for 9 years. Before that was like 3-4 years. The one I'm at now, I'm going on 3 years. So when I look at that, mind you, I'm 32. I just had a birthday. So I'm 32, so almost a third of my life was at one job. I stayed there and I learned almost everything I could from that company. I mean, they taught me how to be a manager. They taught me how to be a team lead. They taught me how to have crucial conversations. They really developed me. And when I realized there's not much more I can get out of this job, it's time for me to move forward, is the time that I decided to move forward, and I did. But I was there for 9 years. Like, that right there shows commitment, that you're able to make a commitment. You're able to hold on to your promises, and you're a very loyal person. And if you're still not sure over those last two questions, the last one is, what's the longest relationship? Longest relationship you had? What happened to it? How'd it end? Like, why did it end? Now, pay attention to that. Because if they say it ended because I did some bad things, okay, what'd you do? Right? Oh, you know, I was this or that, or, you know, I don't know, whatever the situation might be. Pay attention to how they describe how it ended. That is a key to figure out who they are as a person. I told you, I would say, what was my longest relationship? My longest relationship, I would say, was 6 years. But then it was on and off for another 4. So on and off for like 10 years. What happened? Why did it end? You know, there was a lot of different things that happened to make that relationship end. He's a great person. You know, I still respect him a lot. I don't like what happened. I don't agree with what happened, but I have to respect the relationship that we had and the friendship we had. Because he really helped develop who I am today as well, you know. Thinking about things, thinking of like different hats to put on and trying to put yourself in other people's point of view. At the end of the day, though, we were just at different spots in our lives. When it first ended, like 6 years into it, we were in just different spots. And then when we tried to make it work again, you know, there was lies and deceits. And it just, we were just in different spots in our lives. You know, do I hate this individual? No, I don't. If I saw him out and about, would I say hi? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, how you doing? Would I give him another chance? No. As hard as that is, no. There was too much pain that happened to make that end. But I don't hate him. Honestly, I wish him the best of luck, and I hope he finds the person that he wants and someone that, you know, checks off all of his pie charts. I really hope that he does. And do I hear from him from time to time? Yeah, just say, hey, what's going on? I mean, he was a big part of my life. But we were just better off at this point in our lives to just move forward. So my first two non-negotiables is no drugs and loyalty. My third non-negotiable is growth. Okay? So what do I mean by growth? Exactly. So I hear all the time, or I hear people say, what do you do for fun? Well, it just depends on what I'm doing at the time. Like, I can make anything fun. I can make this fun. I can make putting a puzzle together fun. I can, you know, play an app on my phone. I can do anything and make it fun. Like, that shouldn't really be an answer or a question. It should be, what are you doing to grow yourself? You know, personally, mentally, professionally, like, what are you doing to grow yourself? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you reading self-help books? Are you saying, okay, I have an issue with this. I need to reach out and get help. Are you in counseling? Are you doing different things to make yourself better? So I told you how to answer the question. So what am I doing to grow yourself? Kind of everything I just said. One of the things I love to do is I love to watch YouTube videos about different things, like how to control anger issues, how to control yourself when someone starts saying some negative things to you, how to control your reactions to a situation, because you can't control what other people do, but you can control your actions to it. So I listen to a lot of YouTube. I like to read some articles on the computer or on the phone, you know. Recently I've been doing a little bit of counseling myself, just to kind of figure out what's going on, what I need to do to continue to grow myself to be better in the future. The second question to that non-negotiable: what have you learned about yourself in the last few years that you needed to change, and what have you done to change that? That's a good question. So for me, I can say, you know, I've learned a lot about me the last few years. For one, I am so freaking stubborn. So stubborn. I have been through a lot in my short time. I won't say my long life because I'm only 32. But I'm very freaking stubborn. You know, it's my way or the highway, which is okay to an extent. Because you should have your non-negotiables. You should have your boundary set of saying, this is not okay. You are not going to do this to me. You're not going to treat me this way. You're not going to talk to me like this. But at the same time, you have to be able to kind of let your mind grow, kind of in the growth aspect of saying, okay, maybe I need to expand my horizon a little bit. Just because I do things this way doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing to do. The third question I have is, what's the main thing you learned about your last relationship about yourself? What have you done to grow that insecurity or issue so that it wouldn't happen in future relationships? You know, I think this question is key. Because let me tell you, people don't get into relationships and not learn something. And if the same thing keeps happening over and over again in all your relationships, maybe you need to take a look in the mirror, right? Of saying, okay, what is it that I'm doing? Or let me take a look at my relationships and say they are all ending the same way, or we're having the same fight every single time. Okay, maybe that's something I need to work on myself. Are you attracting the same type of people? Are you not? Like, what is it that you learn? And you should learn something from every relationship. If it's a, you know, significant other relationship, or if a friendship, or anything else, what did you learn? So, I would say the last couple And let me tell you, I haven't really had that many relationships because for me, like I said, I'm a very loyal person. So I usually don't let people really get to know me in the inside. So when I do, I don't like to let it go. I try to hold on to it, and I try to change things that I can change for myself to keep that person or people in my life. So the last two, I would say that I learned about myself is I got to know my boundaries. Know what's right and wrong, and listen to your intuition. Okay? Listen to your intuition. Oh my gosh, is that key? Intuition. Oh my gosh. I am someone that's always afraid of making the wrong decision, and I can talk myself in and I can convince myself of anything. Listen to your gut. Listen to your intuition when it comes to things. You know, I kind of knew the first night that I was kind of talking to somebody that that's probably not going to be a future. And I even remember saying that the next day. No, I mean, might be a friend, but that's about it. But for some reason, I convinced myself, no, I might be interested in this person. Why am I interested? I don't know. And just knowing that, God, I got to listen to my intuition better. You know, I'm not saying that my exes are bad. They're not. They're just not right for me. And that's the key that people have to understand when they're talking about, you know, past relationships, like emotional relationships with like a significant other. They could be great people, but they're not the right person for me. Wish them the best. I hope they find what they're looking for. But that's really a key thing to understand when you're talking about growth. How are you helping yourself, you know, mentally? What are you doing to continuing to learn? What are you doing to help yourself in a relationship, your next relationship? What are you doing to help yourself in friendships? So that's my top 3. I do have 5. Like I said, this is going to be a little long video. Okay, the 4th non-negotiable. This is going to be another touchy subject. Okay. And it's kind of like the other ones too. It's not like a straight yes or no answer. And it's kind of hard to bring up, but it's important to bring up. So my 4th non-negotiable is that if you're going to be my friend, if you're going to be in my life as a friend or a significant other or anything, this is non-negotiable to me. It's not going to change. You cannot be a racist. It's that simple. To me, I look at people as people. And, you know, I told you I kind of been in counseling for a little bit, and I've been talking about that. And one of the things that she said was, you're colorblind. It's a good thing. It's a great quality to have. And I never really thought about it that way before, but she's absolutely right. I am. I'm colorblind when it comes to that. And I was telling a story of when I was, oh my gosh, I don't know. I was working at my last job, so quite a few years ago. And I was volunteering for a golf tournament. And one of the girls that I worked with was there too. And she came up to me and she goes, hey, do you feel weird? Like, no, why would I feel weird? You know what I mean? Like, why would I feel weird? I'm at a golf tournament. She's like, you're the only white person here. I said, am I really? Like, really? And I start looking around, and I was. But I didn't even notice it. Because to me, I'm having a good time. We're laughing. You know, we were having a couple drinks. You know, I was helping golf. I was the cart girl. You know, like, we were just having a good time. It didn't matter that I was white and the people there that I was helping with was African American. Who cares? Like, I didn't even notice that. Because I don't see color. I see people as people. You know, there is a difference. If I get a good vibe from you, I want to get to know you. If I don't get a good vibe from you, I'm just going to back off. You know? So it doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter if you're gay, lesbian, transgender. I don't care. I don't care. You know? I remember... This story I'm going to tell you kind of irritates me a little bit. AJ, my oldest, who's 5 now, when I had him, You know, I had to go back to work 8 weeks later. So I had my old roommate, who's gay. His partner at the time was going to watch my son. Cool. Like, I don't have to take him anywhere. You know, I was paying him to watch AJ, and I trusted him. And I remember telling people at work, I was like, yeah, you know, my roommate's partner's watching him for me, and, you know, I'm paying him to babysit. And they were like, and you're okay with that? Why wouldn't I be? Like, I don't understand. And they were like, you're okay with having a gay guy watch your son? Yeah, why wouldn't I be? Just because he's gay, I'm afraid of what he's going to do to my 8-week-old? Come on now. Like, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I would get so angry when people would say that. Oh my gosh, I got so angry. You know, and it's the same thing with, you know, when I moved back to Indiana, you know, I had one of my really good friends, not going to name names, but one of my really good friends who is, you know, African-American, was watching my son for me. And people said the same thing. They were like, you're going to let him watch him? Why not? Why? I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, he loves them. They're good together. I don't care that you know, he's black and my kids are white. I could care less. Ugh, irritated me. So, that's not, but unfortunately, it's not really something you can just come out and say, hey, are you racist? I mean, you can, but people can lie and be like, oh, no, I'm not. You're right. They could. So what I like to do, and what I used to do, and I'm really going to get back into this, is there's a question that I really like. And it's, is there a movie or a documentary or anything that you've seen or read that has had a major importance, like an important factor of your life? And I want to hear what they say. What is it? Like, what is the one thing that's really had an important part of your life? So when I talk about movies, there's a couple movies that, you know, ring a bell to me. And I like to talk about it. The first movie I always bring up when I'm asked this question, Remember the Titans. I love that movie. And at the time when I watched that movie, I didn't understand it. You know, I mean, I was young when that came out. I was like, I just don't understand. Like, why do they hate each other so much? Like, I don't get it. Like, yeah, they become friends, but why is the town having such a hard time with blacks and whites being in the same school? Why are they having such a hard time playing football together? And it wasn't until I watched it a few times and then learned more about, you know, the history, was I like, oh, wow, that really did happen. Like, people are judged just on their skin color. That is ridiculous. I can't stand that. Like, I get so passionate about it because I could care less. And it's irritating to me, and it's so hard when I hear that. The second movie I like, people are going to laugh, but it's going to be Cinderella, but not the cartoon version. It's a Cinderella with Brandy. I don't know if you've seen it. I used to watch that movie all the time. I had it on VHS, and I would put it in my VCR player and watch it, rewind it, watch it again. My mom had to replace it like so many times. But I always loved that movie for a couple different reasons, and I laugh now at it because it's like, okay, that's not even possible. But I liked it because it was like that movie. At the time, I think it was just like a fun movie, and there was music and dancing and fun storyline, you know, and Brandy is just so beautiful, and the last dress she has on, oh, I've always wanted to dress like hers. But I watch it now, and I'm like, you know, I think I know why I liked it so much, even at a young age. If you think about it, the people who played in it, Whoopi played the mother, played the queen. There was a white guy that would play on Titanic, I don't know his name. And then their prince, or their son, was like an Asian guy. How does that happen? How does that happen? I don't know. And then Brandy was, you know, African American. And the fact that there was just so many ethnic groups and no one even batted an eye. Like, I think that's why I liked it so much even as a young kid. And the fact that the storyline is like this prince who has everything you could possibly imagine met this girl who was a servant and fell in love with her and didn't care that she mopped floors for a living. Like, it was just her personality that he loved so much. And that people can come from different backgrounds and still love each other. And I love that movie. just, even now, and I really like think about it and criticize and tear apart movies. I like that movie. My third movie I like is Grease. I've always loved Grease. Grease is one of them where if I'm in a bad mood, I'll just put on Grease and just start singing "You're the One I Want." I don't know. I love it. I think kind of the same thing. Different backgrounds. They like each other. You know, they end up compromising for each other to be together. So that's kind of my fourth non-negotiable. And I ask that question because, and I tell them my story and why I like those movies, and I listen to what they say and how they respond to it. You know, if they start acting weird about it or whatnot, you're done. Because if you're even slight bit racist, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't. I've tried. I can't. I'm gonna have friends of all backgrounds. Sorry. And that's okay. That's okay to have those boundaries. The last non-negotiable I have is personality. Okay. Now that might sound like a weird one. Like, yeah, everybody's gotta have a personality. You're right. Everybody has a personality. I have a personality. You have a personality. This country singer has a personality. My dog, wherever he went, my cats, they all have personalities. What I'm talking about though is the different personalities that someone has. I need somebody with a great work ethic who can be very serious and professional when need be. I need someone that can act like a kid, you know, that can have fun with me, because I'll tell you right now, I'll be the first one to be like, hey babe, come outside. Why? Just come outside and I'll shoot you with a water gun. How are you going to react to that? Are you going to be like stood up and be like, ew, don't get me wet, God, like, and throw a fit because I squirted you with a water gun? Sorry, it's not going to work. Like, I need to have that playful fun, right? You know, what if I was cooking mashed potatoes and you're right next to me? If I say, hey babe, but, you know, flick some mashed potatoes at you. Are you going to get frustrated or are you going to do it right back? Like, I need to have fun with someone. But I also need to have that serious time. Like, you know, when things get rough, because listen, not everything can be, you know, cupcakes and rainbows. There's going to be difficult times. There's going to be times that you do not agree with someone. How do you resolve that? Are you someone that storms off? Are you someone that will call you every name in the book to try to get your way? Or are you someone to say, okay, it's getting out of hand. Let's take a step back. Let's talk about it again in about 20 minutes. Let's clear our mind. And let's talk about what we need to do to fix the situation. You know, that's all in their personality. And what have they done to grow themselves? You know, the other some questions that I like to ask is, you know, if someone starts disrespecting you, how would you handle it? For me, if someone starts disrespect, like let's say I'm out and about and someone says something to me, or, you know, keyboard warriors, oh, I'm going to kick your butt, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. All right. That's what you want to do? If that makes you feel better about yourself, go ahead. Or if someone really starts being disrespectful, I'm sorry you feel that way. You don't have to like me. I don't like you either. Bye. Or are you going to get violent? Are you going to say, meet me here and I'm going to beat you up? I don't know. Sorry, I'm not a violent person. I don't believe in violence. I don't think violence is ever the answer. But is that how you handle situations? Getting violent with someone? If that's the case, not going to work. Not gonna work. I don't want that drama around me. Here's a big one for me. I'm looking down at my notes that I had, so I want to make sure and cover everything. While spending time together, if you were always on your phone and I asked you to put it away, how are you going to respond to that? I think that's all based on your personality. For me, when I'm with somebody, it doesn't matter what is going on in here. I want to spend time with you. Now, when you're not around, am I going to play games? I have got tons of slot machines downloaded on my phone and like color by numbers and stuff like that. I love that stuff. If I'm not with somebody or hanging out by myself, yeah, I'm going to play on my phone. I might be on my phone a lot. But if I'm with somebody, I'm going to be with that person. Because no matter what's going on my phone, it doesn't matter. Because if I'm on my phone constantly when I'm with you, that means that whatever is going on my phone is more important to me than you. That's the way I look at it. So another one I have is, this is a big personality trait, okay? Because let's be real, in today's world, this is key, right? It's key. It's key to everything. Wish it wasn't, but it is. Do you go through someone's phone? For me, I do believe in an open phone policy. However, there is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. If someone calls and you see it, answer it. Cool. I don't care. Now, are you wanting to go through my phone when I get home from work because you want to see where I went through the day and you want to know why Google Maps says I was here, but then it's missing data and I'm not till someplace else an hour later? You're going to start questioning my every little detail of my day? That's a bit much. That's controlling. I'm not going to do anything wrong. I'm going to come home to you. If I chose you, if I chose to have you in my life and I'm so loyal, I'm not going to do you wrong. Are you going to go through my emails of things that happened 5 years ago before I even met you and then question me about it and say, might not remember it at first? And then get mad saying I'm like, no. That's not okay. Because listen, everybody has a past, right? And whatever happened before we got together doesn't really matter. Because who I was then is not who I am now. You know, you asked me 5 years ago or 6 years ago before I had my son, my oldest. I'm definitely not the same person. You know, not that it's a bad thing. I was still a professional. I still had a good job. I still had an apartment. I was still paying my own bills. But was I someone that liked to go out to the bars every night? Yeah. I like to drink. Was I someone that wanted to play cards like Texas Hold'em? Yeah. Yeah. A lot. Was I doing anything wrong because I was in a relationship? No. Half the time he went with me. But that's what I did for fun. Right? But that's not what I do for fun now. But that's what I did before. Did I handle things right before? No. Did I handle things right when I first met you? Maybe not. But it's all about continuing growth. So what did I do then that I don't want to continue? This has been a really long video. I'm so sorry. So non-negotiables, those are kind of my non-negotiables, and those are my answers, my questions and my answers. I'm going to stop this video now because we're at 43 minutes. Whew. But I do want to say I have more topics that I'm going to cover. I kind of hope this has been kind of revealing to some people, and I hope that you really kind of find your own non-negotiables and you stick with them. That's the key. Finding them and sticking with them and not allowing anybody into your life that does not agree with your non-negotiables.